Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today's Spotlight series. My name is Marilyn Lau, and I am with the Viterbi Admission and Student Engagement team. So today we are joined by Program Director, Dr. Bruce Wilcox, who will be talking, taking us through the MS in Analytics program here offered within Viterbi School of Engineering. So thank you so much, Dr. Wilcox, for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you.
So some quick facts for those of you who are joining us live. I will be sending out a copy of today's presentation deck. So I do ask, please do allow, between 1 to 3 business days, and you will receive a copy. And for those of you who are watching this live or as a recording at a later date, please do note that the content that we are talking about out this information session. Program related. If they are about the admissions and application process, then I can go ahead and answer those questions for you. So today's agenda, I will be talking about the University of Southern California, and then specifically about the Viterbi School of Engineering. But then today's focus is to learn more about our Masters of Analytics. So Professor Wilcox will be taking us through, the program, the academic curriculum, and then I'll go ahead and talk about our online delivery method, Dan at Viterbi, the flexibility that it offers. Who are not familiar with, where our academic institution is. So our university is in Los Angeles. We are around like a 20-minute drive from downtown LA, and also maybe like a 20-30-minute drive, from the airport, from LAX. And so we do have a very, very beautiful campus. A little bit of history about USC. So for those of you who don't know, we were founded in 1880, and we are the oldest private university in the Western United States. We do have 23 academic schools and divisions, over 47,000 students, over 450,000 alumni that are represented worldwide, and over 4,700 full-time faculty. And our student population is extremely diverse. So our students come from all different walks of life. So a little bit about Viterbi School of Engineering. So we do have over 6,600 graduate students. We offer 65 master's programs, but 40 of them are offered online through Dan at Viterbi. We have 38 research centers and over 210 full-time tenure-track faculty members. Our school, Viterbi School, was established in 1905, and we have over 104,000 Viterbi alumni that are worldwide. We do have 8 academic departments. So we have the Aerospace and Mechanical Engineering, the Astronautical Engineering, Biomedical Engineering, Chemical Engineering and Material Science, Civil and Environmental Engineering, Computer Science and Data Science, Electrical and Computer Engineering, and Industrial Systems Engineering Department, which is the academic department that houses the Analytics Master's Program. Okay, so without further ado, everyone is here to hear more from Dr. Wilcox, and so I would like to introduce you to Bruce Wilcox, who is the program director of the.
Can you hear me, Marilyn?
Maybe.
Can you hear me, Marilyn? My screen had frozen, at least for you, as the audio as well.
Can people chat into the box if you could hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you now, but you've been quite intermittent to me anyways. I don't know if it's on my end or your end.
Okay, apologies. Let me see if other people could type into the chat box as well if you could hear me okay. I may have to turn my video off then.
Can you hear?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
now.
thank you.
Yeah. It was kind of in and out. So hopefully it stays in here.
Okay, apologies. Okay, thank you. So I'll leave my camera off, and we will definitely have a recording as well. So the recording hopefully will be able to capture everything that I said also. So So he got his bachelor's and his master's degree in electrical engineering, and he also got his MBA from UCLA and his PhD from Claremont Graduate University. He has over nearly 40 years of industry experience in consulting and systems integration, and for the last 8 years in analytics consulting with SAS. University background, he has many semesters, in a part-time teaching at Long Beach State as well as USC. And he's also a full-time faculty at USC since fall 2021. And he has been the director of the analytics program since fall of 2024. So thank you so much, Professor Wilcox. And I'll go ahead and hand the reins over.
Okay, thank you, Marilyn. I hope I'm coming through okay here. As Marilyn said, I'm the director of our MS Analytics program after a long career in consulting, the last decade or so of which was analytics consulting. I joined USC on a full-time basis in the fall semester of 2021 and took over as the program director a little over a year ago for the MS Analytics program. I thought I'd start by giving a little bit of context. So what is analytics? I get this question a lot. We have multiple master's programs that sound a little bit similar. We have a data science master's degree that's applied data science. It's offered by our computer science department. We have a master's in business analytics, which is offered by our business school, the Marshall School of Business. And we have the MS Analytics program within the industrial and systems engineering. The way I differentiate, and I'm going to focus on differentiating the analytics program that we offer versus the data science program that the computer science department here in Viterbi also offers, is that there is a fair amount of overlap in terms of the basic tools and technologies associated with analytics and data science. We use a lot of the same underlying algorithms, but the purpose, the objective is different. So it kind of goes with our department. What is industrial engineering? Maybe I should start with that. Industrial engineering, broadly speaking, is the application of advanced engineering technologies and tools to improve business processes, business efficiency, reliability, and to generally solve business problems as well. So as such, that leads naturally into analytics, which is the application of data technologies to improve business operations. There's a lot of overlap, but our focus is on applying data science type technologies to business operations. As opposed to data science, I would I would generalize as saying focuses more on developing data products. Developing products that are generally used primarily by the high-tech companies and those that are technology focused. So second bullet there, then that leads to the fact that analytics itself is inherently a multidisciplinary field. It requires, broadly speaking, background in statistics that underlies everything we do, programming, and I'll talk more about the tools that we use, but also business analysis, knowledge of the domains. So, and as such, then our students come from all of those backgrounds. I think we'll talk in a few slides about the kind of the requirements for admission, but we accept students from math, statistics background and general engineering backgrounds, from programming, computer science backgrounds, and also from business and social science backgrounds, assuming that that you have a reasonably strong background in the quantitative disciplines. So the program itself, the field itself is multidisciplinary, and our students are also multidisciplinary in their backgrounds. You can go ahead there, Marilyn, go to the next slide. Thank you. So as I said, I kind of already spoke to this slide. They're both sort of umbrella terms. They're often used interchangeably, analytics and data science. They use very similar sets of tools and technologies: Python, SQL, R, Tableau, cloud platforms, data warehouses, but for different objectives. As I say, analytics, analyze and improve business processes by enhancing decision-making and operational efficiency. Data science, develop advanced data products and solutions. So we are focused on analytics. Industrial engineering as a discipline as a whole has always been that branch of engineering that focuses on applying technologies to business, improving business operations and efficiency. Next slide, please. So what does that mean then? Our analytics professionals are employed in virtually every industry, and our graduates, our alumni, we work for a broad cross section of industries and companies. Almost every company out there now has some level of analytics function within their organization. Some very large, some very small, and our placements, our alumni employment reflects that. Analytics professionals generally get very closely involved in the business operations and see the immediate impact of their work on business operations, which many students find to be a highly rewarding aspect of working in analytics. I often say that a good number of our students actually go into consulting after they graduate, but a lot also go into in-house analytics works with companies. But I often say that really all analytics work is consulting, whether it's traditional consulting with an external client, or if it's in-house, generally you are basically consulting to business stakeholders within the company, which is kind of what the last bullet says, working closely with business stakeholders. And so then communications, presentations, data storytelling skills become important, and we emphasize those in our program as well. Okay, so this is an overview of our curriculum. We have 28 credits required for the degree. Our classes are primarily 4-credit classes, so we're talking about 7 classes, 7 4-credit classes for the degree. We have 3 required classes that are listed here. I can answer a question about any of these classes if you like. We have the Group A electives, which are project focused. We want every student to take at least one, hopefully more, class that involves a major project. We don't have a formal thesis, but instead we require students to do major project classes. And then Group B is a variety of, I would call, methodology electives, various opportunity to specialize in some of the various subfields of analytics. Okay. And so one of the things we're trying to do, which is illustrated by this slide here, is tailor our electives to allow students to focus on the subfield of analytics that they are most interested in, or they think offers them the best career prospects. And broadly speaking, we divide it into data engineering has become a major subfield of analytics in itself. This is the work to prepare the data. It includes creating data warehouses, populating data warehouses with orchestrated pipelines. Also, I group there. It's really separate, but I group them together here. Machine learning engineering, MLE, another major career path or subspecialty, and this has to do with the engineering of the final analytics product. The product may be a predictive model. The product may be dashboards, maybe some sort of statistical or descriptive modeling. And so MLE is the process of automating and engineering the delivery of those analytics products. Both of those very strong career fields. Data science, this is the more traditional mathematical focus. The modeling, algorithmic and with a computational emphasis. And there's a lot of jobs out there in data science. And then data analysis sort of is a broad catch-all term, but basically those are the specialists that focus on applying their skills to specific business domains. And you can see some of the classes that we have there within that, the elective options we have. Excuse me. Now students don't have a concentration, but we try to provide electives that enable them to focus on certain subsets, if they wish, of the analytics field. Okay, go ahead, Marilyn. Go to the next slide, if we haven't frozen. There we go. Thank you. So what are our program? What are our requirements here? I think Marilyn's going to come back to this in a moment here, but bachelor's degree in engineering or the following. You can see computer science. We also have economics, finance, the quantitative social sciences, as well as the traditional STEM, computer science, engineering, mathematics background. So as I said earlier, our students come from a wide variety of backgrounds. And in the first semester, they all take a class to try to level them in the sense of making sure that everybody comes up to a basic level in all of the core foundations of analytics. And we have a new class for that purpose called Foundations of Analytics. I've already sort of spoken to the career paths here, but on the left, kind of a more further elaboration of the various job titles. Our graduates have done well. Our alumni are working in a wide range of industries around Southern California, around the U.S., and around the world. And there's a fairly wide range of job titles that are shown here, which our alumni have. On the right-hand side are some of the types of companies with specific examples where some of our alumni are working today. Okay, I guess this back to you now, Marilyn.
Okay, thank you so much, Professor Wilcox, for taking us through. Yeah, and if anyone has issues with my audio, please just let me know. And so in terms of the master's requirements, applicants need to have an undergraduate degree in engineering, computer science, math, or basically any STEM related academic discipline for all of our graduate programs. And so, as Professor Wilcox kind of talked about, for the analytics program, individuals do need to have a strong math background to kind of understand that mathematics foundation. So for spring 2026, we are still accepting application deadlines for, applications for online Dana Viterbi students, as long as you do not require a student visa sponsorship. The application fee is $90. For those of you who are interested in fall 2026 and spring 2027, whether you're on campus or DEN delivery modality, the application fee will be $105. All applicants are required to submit official transcripts. So electronic copy will be uploaded onto your application. All of our graduate programs also require a resume as well as a personal statement. So for the analytics program, letter recommendations are optional. Letter recommendations, it varies between academic programs. So for the analytics program, it is optional. So we always recommend to head over to our website and go to your specific program page to see what the admission requirements are. and you can head over there at the link indicated on the slide. So the good news is that the GRE is not required for 2026 master's applications. For those of you who are international applicants, do note that you are required to submit your TOEFL or IELTS scores as well as part of your application package. So as I mentioned, for the application deadlines, we are still accepting applications for online Den Viterbi students who do not require a student visa sponsorship. So that deadline date to submit your application and all required materials is November 14th. If you are interested, please email me at dan@viterbi.usc.edu for more information. And for those of you interested in fall 2026, the scholarship deadline is January 15th. Again, there is an asterisk, which indicates that an application extension is possible as long for online Dan Viterbi students. So we have two delivery modalities. The first is on campus, where most students who are studying on campus, they tend to be pursuing their graduate degree on a full-time basis. So they take maybe 3 classes per semester or 4. So the average completion time can be between 1.5 to 2 years. And then we have our online delivery method, Dan Viterbi. So most Dan Viterbi students tend to be part-time typically. However, there are still some students, who may not be working, and so they pursue their degree full-time, but they're not based in Los Angeles, so they opt for our online delivery method. If you are working full-time, students tend to take 1 to 2 classes per semester, and on average, they tend to complete their degree in maybe 2.5 to 3 years. So how does Dan Viterbi work? So Dan Viterbi is the Viterbi School of Engineering state-of-the-art proprietary web-based delivery system. And it really enables our students from all over the world to access classes in 2 ways. So you could watch it live as it's happening, or you could watch it on demand afterwards on your own time as a recording. Dan Viterbi students also have a physical seat in every class that they are enrolled in. So if you live and work in the LA area and you want to come down and attend lectures in person, you're more than welcome to do so, but it is not a requirement. And also, if you are traveling in with work, or you come down with your family to visit Disneyland, for example, and you're like, I want to go and, sit in on a lecture, I want to, meet Professor Wilcox, you're more than welcome to do so as a DEN student. Dan Viterbi students will still view the same lectures as on-campus students, so the content is fresh every semester. You will participate in highly interactive discussions with your professors and your peers, and you will submit homework electronically as well. You will take exams at a proctor testing center located either near your home or your work. However, if you are in the LA, Orange, or Ventura counties, we do ask, for you to be expected to come into campus that you'll be able to see between the differences of being an online Dan Viterbi student and an on-campus student. The program admissions is the same. You will still submit a graduate application and the required materials. Weekly course lectures is online for Dan Viterbi students, whereas on-campus students will be attending lectures in person on campus. Online course archive, so having access to the lectures and course documents as recordings. For Dan Viterbi students, you do have access to this. On-campus students will only have access to this if they are enrolled in a Dan Viterbi class. Assignments are submitted electronically for DEN students, but as you can see here, the course deadline dates would be the same. Exams, I kind of mentioned, will be at a proctor location, but if you're in the LA, Orange, or Ventura counties, then you will be doing your exams at USC's campus. Courses per semester. So for Dan Viterbi students, they tend to take 1 to 2 classes per semester because they tend to be working professionals, whereas on-campus students, as mentioned, tend to be studying on a full-time basis. However, the degree completion requirements are the same. So, for the analytics program, you do need to complete 28 units, and you do need to maintain at least a 3.0 GPA or above. Some additional information about Dana Viterbi. So we have another enrollment option, which is called limited status. So limited status is a way for individuals who have a strong academic background to begin taking classes before submitting their application for formal admission. You do need to have an undergraduate degree in a STEM academic discipline, and you do need to have at least a 3.0 GPA. You can take a maximum of 12 units that can be applied towards your degree program if admitted. So for example, if you want to get started in spring 2026 by enrolling in a class for analytics, you can go ahead and do that if you meet the eligibility requirement, and then work on your application for fall 2026. And then if admitted into the MS in Analytics program in the future, the classes that you took as a limited status student can be transferable over upon departmental approval. And for those of you who may be, supported in terms of reimbursed for your tuition by your employer, we do have the employer reimbursement deferment program. So this is for students who are supported by a company. You can defer your payment of up to 90% of tuition until after the semester is over. The program eligibility is that your student account has to be current and your employer has to reimburse you for tuition at the end of each term. For more information, you can also head over to that link, which is our employer reimbursement page on our student financial services page. So this slide here just highlights our current tuition rates for this academic year. So you could see how much a per unit rate is and a 3-unit and 4-unit course. Most of our courses are between the 3 to 4 unit. There may be some electives that may be 1 or 2, but majority of them tend to be 3 to 4. So this gives you an idea of how much a course would cost. The tuition and fees are also the same for both online and on-campus student, and it is also subject to change without notice. So we always encourage students to head over to our website to view the most updated tuition rates for the specific academic year. And then in addition, we do have some scholarships. So we have the merit-based scholarship, which is awarded to outstanding students who are pursuing a master's program fully online through Dana Viterbi. So this is our Dana Viterbi scholarship. It is a partial scholarship ranging from 1 to 4 units of tuition for students who are pursuing a Viterbi master's program fully online. And you would also have to receive either partial or no tuition reimbursement funds from your employer. The funding provided would be awarded during the academic year, and applicants can reapply for a future scholarship consideration. To be eligible, you do need to have at least a minimum has passed. And you can find more information and the application itself on the link below. And for those of you who are joining us or watching this as a recording who are an active duty military or a veteran, we do have some funding and scholarships available as well. For active duty military, we have the USC Viterbi Active Duty Military Scholarship. It is a partial scholarship ranging from $5,000 to $20,000 of tuition for U.S. active duty military of all military branches. So you would have to be pursuing either a master's or graduate certificate program, and it could be online or on USC's campus. The spring 2026 scholarship deadline is also on Friday, November 14th. And similarly, the fall 2026 deadline date will be posted on the website after the spring date has passed. USC Viterbi also offers an unlimited number of Yellow Ribbon Awards to eligible veteran candidates who are entitled to the 100% post 9/11 benefit rate. And we do also have a scholarship, which is the USC Schoen Family Scholarship for Veterans. For more information on the benefits that we have for U.S. active duty military veterans, we do encourage you to head over to our website at the link indicated at the bottom of the slide. So this slide here is, the slide to kind of help you navigate. For those of you who are interested in, submitting your application, you can use the link here to head over to our application portal. For Dana Viterbi students, if you are interested in getting started as a limited status student in spring 2026, you can head over to our link on the slide to submit your limited status request form to be approved for limited status enrollment. Okay, so I'm gonna see, we'll go ahead and allow some time for people to pop in any questions that they might have. Okay, I don't see any questions that have come through. Okay, let's see. Okay, yes, I don't see any questions that have come through. So if anyone has any questions afterwards, or if you come up with any questions that come to mind after this webinar, you could always email me. And I could always, if they're program specific, I could always, reach out to Professor Wilcox, and he can support with anyone's questions that are about like the academic side of the program. So let me see. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I don't see any questions have come through. So Professor Wilcox, is there anything else that you would like to add before we wrap up today's session?
Not really, just a thank you, Marilyn, for holding it, and thanks to our attendees for signing in this afternoon. As Marilyn said, I'd be happy. I would also be happy to take any questions. You can reach me through the contact information that Marilyn will provide, and feel free. And good luck with your process here of deciding the next step in your education.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Dr. Wilcox. Yeah, I'll go ahead and include your email in the slide, so then people could reach out to you directly if they have any questions. So thank you so much, Dr. Wilcox, for taking the time in walking us through the program, and thank you everyone as well, for joining and for bearing in with my audio. So thank you so much. Hopefully we will hear from you, and hopefully, we will see your application come through. So any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to either myself or Dr. Wilcox. Stay safe, take care, and as we say at USC, fight on.
Take care.